Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to Bureau Channel, and today what we are doing is cutting to the chase and getting the racing mower to work. Let me tell you what happened and what's going on. As you all know, we put a V-twin engine in this thing, because why not? V-twins are the best. Put a foot throttle, I had it in the parade, it did really good, and one day I was riding it and like turned it off and then came back to like 30 minutes to ride it again, and then it decided to like pop out of the carburetor. Like it popped out of the carburetor. It was acting like a timing issue. So what I did is I took the flywheel off 2 times and the timing was fine. So at that point I'm like, I don't really know what to do. So anyways, I'm checking the wiring and everything. The wiring is starting to break. So I'm like, okay, yeah, that's great. So I checked the carburetor. The carburetor's clean and everything. So I'm like, okay, at this point I gotta bring it to my mechanic. So I bring it to my mechanic and we put new wires on it, and it still was backfiring through the carb. So we bought a brand new carb and it didn't backfire anymore, but it was running like as if it was on the choke, which means it was getting too much fuel. So he said he really doesn't know what else to do but buy a fuel pump. So I didn't buy a fuel pump yet, but I'm buying one today. So I brought it back here because I'm gonna have to solve this myself, because he did all the wiring, and I really thank him for that. But it's running as if the choke is on. It's getting too much fuel. So what I did is I took the bowl off and I took the float and I bent it so that not as much fuel is getting in. It still was running like that. And then when I drove it up the hill, it would just turn off because it was getting way too much fuel. It was over flooding. No, I took off the fuel filter. This fuel filter is pretty bad. I put it on the wrong way, and the only reason I put it on wrong was because there was no arrow telling me where to put it. So I took this off and I just went to the straight shut-off valve to the carb, and it did run a little better. Before I made the adjustment to the float and the carb, when I let off the throttle for a few seconds and then go back on, it started to rev like it usually did, which means it wasn't getting as much fuel. But then it started to balk again. I don't know what the problem could be. So today I'm picking up a factory fuel pump, because it's gonna push out the right amount of fuel to the carb. And I also bought a new starter because last night the starter was not acting right. It kept not working. I thought it was the battery, so I kept charging the battery, but turns out it started to smoke, and I was like, okay, yeah, this is great. So I took the hammer and hit it, but yeah, that didn't really do anything. And so yeah, so I'm gonna get you guys when I get the starter. And yeah, alrighty, 60 bucks later, and we have a new starter, because like I said, the other one decided to crap the bed. This is the old one. I pulled it off last night because, like I was saying, it was giving me problems. I did the old hammer trick, it didn't work, and it started to smoke. And I think this is the original starter, and this engine's from like the 80s, so as you can see, it's pretty old. So I mean, it did a job, it lasted long, it didn't disengage the way it was supposed to, and it just was time to go. So 60 bucks later, like I said, nothing's cheap anymore. Let's take a look at this bad boy. Woo. Look at this bad boy, it's got the whole metal gear too. I don't understand why, the Briggs would have the plastic teeth on them. Never made sense to me, but this disengaged and everything's nice and smooth. As you can see, they are the same one in the right size, but very big difference. It's really heavy too. Got the bolts and everything, and I'm gonna put this bad boy on. So let's get straight to it. Beautiful fit. Beautiful fit. Wow. It is a little bit smaller than the other one, which I actually like more because it's easier to put on. I mean, the other one was kind of bigger, so it's hard to take off. But yeah, this one won't rub on the flywheel anymore. Yeah, that's tight. Alright, she's on there. Get something real quick. And I'm just gonna take some sandpaper. This is good old 80 grit, and sand off this connector here that connects to the starter that gives all the power, just to get a better connection. 11mm. Connect this sucker back on and see how she does. Okay, we have it on. Here comes your true test. Oh yeah. Woo! That was crazy. Yeah, she's ready. Dang, that is pretty aggressive. That is all we needed to help get this thing started. And I gotta go meet up with a guy today, Facebook Marketplace, to get a brand new factory fuel pump for this thing, because it puts out 1 to 2 psi, and that's what this engine needs when it comes to a fuel pump. So he has a brand new factory one, so I will get you guys when I'm back from that. Bye-bye. Please work. Turn the fuel on. Please work. Please. So the fuel pump sort of fixed the problem. The tractor will stay running and will start up immediately. It won't fully rev up. It still acts like as if the choke's on. I rode it. It's kind of popping again. So I have this intake type of thing that will connect to the carburetor, and I'm going to put an air filter pot on it because it doesn't have an air filter, and online says put an air filter on because that might work. So I took this off a old 17.5 horse Briggs. So I'm just gonna drill bigger holes, and then we're going to put it on. Okay, let's try that out. Alrighty guys, check this out. We got ourselves the nice air filter on there. This thing is not going anywhere. As you can see, it's really tight. I put 2 gaskets in there, so there shouldn't be a leak, but we're still going to test for one. Yeah, so everything's nice and tight. Now is the real test to see if this thing will run even worse, or if it'll decide to work better. I'm gonna take out a test drive and give you guys an update. It definitely made it way more better, but it's not that good still. It's still got that little, like, it's getting too much, but the best it's gonna get for now. It's still kind of backfiring. That was full throttle. Alrighty guys, that's gonna be it for today's video, and it is the next day, but we aren't gonna be riding because we are getting a really bad rainstorm right now, and it's just been raining on and off these last few days, but that's the best race mower is gonna get. It's the best it's been since this problem has happened, and I really don't know what the problem is, but I really need you guys' help. If there's a small engine mechanic watching this right now that works on these type of things, that knows what they're doing, please tell me in the comments what you think the problem could be. I can tell you what I've already done. I've checked for air leaks, I've checked the valves, I've checked the compressions, making 90 compressions perfect. Kawasaki said anything under 50 would be a problem, and it's making 90, so we're perfect. New carburetor, new spark plugs, new coils, everything's working the way it's supposed to. And I know what you're probably going to say, get smaller jets, but that wouldn't really make any sense since the engine worked with the jets that it had in it for 2 months straight and then decided not to work. That would make no sense. It could be an option, but yeah, I put an air filter on and everything, so I really appreciate you all watching. I really would appreciate it if you all go in the comments and help me with this so we get this thing back to where it used to be. But right now it works, it runs, it idles, and it's the best it's been since this problem. I'm really happy about that. I'm really happy that you all watched, and I'll get you guys in the next one. Subscribe.